Hey, it's Kattalestv. I got to do this video in the dark. Like most great tales, long story short, it's some crazy stuff that blew my mind, but a long time ago I wrote a script about vampires, and it had something to do with sexual vampirism. But what's very, very interesting is that King Charles has been known to be very proud of one of his ancestors. And one of his ancestors was Vlad the Impaler, Count Dracula. And Dracul also, I believe, means dragon. But right now I'm literally on my laptop looking at a bunch of stuff so I can kind of put this story together for you. But what's interesting about Vlad Dracula, or Vlad the Third, he was from Romania, but he had a very long, distinctive nose, kind of bulging eyes, bushy eyebrows. And when you look at a young King Charles when he was a prince with his mother, you can still see his nose. He's a very prominent nose. But what's also fascinating about Vlad is that besides him being like a bloodthirsty person, he suffered from a blood disease. I got to find my notes. Hold on one second. I literally put this in here yesterday, and of course I'm not going to be able to find it. But let me see if I can find the, here we go. I think it's called porphyria. Let's see if we can do this right.
Porphyria.
Oh, sorry, porphyria. And let's tell you what that means. Porphyria. You know, it's always good to learn new words. Porphyria occurs when the body cannot convert compounds called, porphyrins into the hema, which is blood. Porphyria can affect the skin, nervous system, gastrointestinal system, or all of these, depending on the specific type. And there's currently no cure. But one of the things it does is create swelling. It causes a buildup of certain, I don't know, what is it saying? It says disorders resulting from a buildup of certain chemicals related to red blood cells, proteins. So what you'll find is it can cause swelling in hands and sores, and it's wild because people make fun of King Charles because they call him sausage fingers. But one of the reasons he has that is because his body is accumulating compounds in the blood. But what's interesting is that I'm not a doctor by any means, and I'm sure his doctors are aware, but he and Vlad allegedly have had those disorders, and there's another one called hemalacria, if I'm saying it right, and sometimes it causes blood in tears or tears of blood, which is another disorder. It could be a tumor in that part of the eye and stuff. But they also say it's bacterial conjunctivitis, and it can happen because of that or environmental damage or injuries. So they literally have a letter from Vlad the Impaler And some scientists, like, he lived around like 1457 or something like that. But the scientists, like, got some DNA and off of it, and they looked it up, and they were able to find out that he had, you know, some of these traits. But literally, you're finding out that his ancestors had a blood disorder. And what's, like, blew my mind, I'm trying to find my notes. Oh, here we go. Okay, there's it's a genetic condition that causes victims to actually, it's crazy, crave blood. And they resemble vampires because of it. And also, for some reason, the garlic is not, they don't like garlic. I mean, you can't make this crap up. I'll try to put the link in the video, but I'm looking at this website called criver.com, criver.com, of vampires and villains and those who are not. So, they call it a vampire disease, porphyria, because there's something lacking or a change in their, I guess, DNA structure. And I'm trying to read it. I'm so sorry. But there's something goes wrong, which makes it like their blood cell precursors and things like that do not work properly. Oh my God. But if you read this article, it makes it a lot clearer. I'm not going to try to read it all real fast, but let me just put this part in it. It says common physical traits of people with porphyria include pale skin, pronounced teeth, and excessive hair growth on the face and next to deformations on the fingers, ears, and nose. Early witness reports of people fitting all these descriptions may have fueled the mystery of vampires and werewolves. You know, people with lots of hair and people that crave blood. But they believe that the victims of porphyria may have served as the inspiration for those tales. And this is where it gets interesting. It says notable people with porphyria. Famous cases have been linked to Prince William of Gloucester, a paternal cousin of the the late Queen Elizabeth, because this article is written before she passed away. As such, he also descended from King George III. And if you know anything about King George III, they called him mad. And his madness may have been due to an undiagnosed family history of porphyria. Some people think he was bipolar, but porphyria runs in the family. And what's fascinating, again, you have to, like, King Charles actually said, you know, he thinks it's cool. I'm using a modern vernacular, that he's related to Vlad the Impaler, and these scientists found out that Vlad the Impaler had blood of tears, and he also had porphyria. So why this is fascinating is that you know, people call people bloodthirsty. And where do these words and conversations come from? And it literally can come from history, that some people lacked something in their blood and it made them crave blood, which is mind-blowing. But also causes swelling in the body. It could happen in the hands, it could happen in the brain, it can happen, you know, in different places. But King Charles has swollen fingers, there's no doubt. and he has an enlarged prostate, allegedly. But one of the things I found out that blew my mind as well, and I'm trying to find it, is that they talked about alcohol and other addictions, like ramping up these issues of the blood, you know, and it can cause more problems. Like, you know, if somebody in the family suffered a head injury and they already had a propensity for inflammation of their body in certain parts, especially the brain, that can cause even more erratic behavior. But the madness of King George, that's a fascinating thing. But and also this stuff is in regards to inbreeding. A lot of it is because of the genetics. I'm trying to find... Of course, yeah, my notes are all over the place. I mean, not notes. I put it on my Twitter feed, and now I'm looking for the let me see if I can find the madness of King George in my Twitter feed. Then what's hilarious is I have stalkers on my Twitter, my Kattalestv, and then they put numbers on the back of it. So when I talk about like bots, you know, it's just a common occurrence. Okay, porphyria can occur if you inherit a changed gene from one of your parents, or changed genes from both parents. I had something that was in my mind that I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the part where it talks about, you know, other addictions increase the inflammation and cause like mental issues. And why I bring that up is because allegedly William, you know, Harry said that he hit him and he fell. And then there's images of William's children grabbing their mom's mouth and sticking their finger in her face. And that's not normal. That's like a learned behavior. They've seen something like that. For a kid to do that, both sons to do that, it's really odd. But when we also want to go back to, oh, by the way, there's a Kattalestv 1773, no, 177, 1 3 7s and a 3, right? And then there's a Kattalestv 58103 and a Kattalestv 36186. So yeah, I've got stalkers on Twitter. Wow. I'm so impressed. I'm being extremely sarcastic. So let's go back to, someone sent me something. I don't even understand what the fuck she's talking about. I have to look it up. I'm sorry. It's so distracting. Anyway, I got distracted. So sorry. But if you know anything about the English monarchy, and when the men are tired of their women, they get rid of them. I'm talking about Henry VIII. You know what I mean? Put them in a tower, chop off their head, change the religion of the country. There is nothing they won't do when they want somebody else or a woman's not giving them what they want. And the reason why I bring that up is because I still believe that last video of Kate Middleton is fake. It's AI. It's not real. And it's not normal that her husband wouldn't be sitting by her side. And they make all these excuses after we make complaints or we make comments about it's not normal for a man not to be there. They'll say something, well, oh, Kate wanted him not to be there. She wanted to do it by herself. I find that highly irregular. But more importantly, even if you give him the last video, the other 4 or 5, because I don't even know if the last one was 6, in regards to fake imagery, is unacceptable. And also the letter written by alleged Kate, which in my mind was written by William's team. That's not normal. If somebody was a detective looking at this case and the names were not Prince of Wales and Catherine, Princess of Wales, and it was just, you know, a Brian Laundrie and a Gabby Pitot, if I said her name right, they would sit William down and ask him, where's his wife? And is she okay? And it would be highly irregular for a person to be putting out fake videos and stills of a person and cutting up in pieces. And when I mean cutting up in pieces, like in the photographs, using AI, sticking an image from Vogue and putting it in a car. That's what I mean by cutting it up. It's very fascinating psychologically. It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, yeah, I just want to share that with you. Literally, the British monarchs are related to Vlad the Impaler, who is the, what's the right word? He's the impetus of Dracula and the House of Dragons. You know what I'm saying? But they have a blood disorder which causes them to need blood and have swollen body parts, which could lead to madness. Just an interesting fact. So this is Kattalestv. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, send a super thanks, and watch my other videos. Talk to you later. Bye.